Oh no. Oh, he's getting ready to go into the mountains. Oh boy. Oh, dude, no way. Oh man. What has he got? I want to see. Alright, how's it going? It's been a long day, so I figured I would just make this real quick since I didn't have a chance to put it in my video. Stick around, check out the entire video. It's got a lot of good stuff in it, but here's the items I forgot, okay? The avalanche beacon. You're going to want one of these. Definitely, whether you're skiing inbounds or out of bounds, you definitely want one of these. They're really cool. Couple of batteries in them. This one's really simple. This one's the BCA tracker too. It's got your on off switch. You pop it, you know, out like that. You turn it on, and if you need to find somebody, boom, you pop that thing out. Literally, it's hard to do it. Oh, well, anyway, you can't do it while it's off. Sorry. Anyway, but this little tab right here, right there, you just pull and it'll go into search mode. It searches for multiples or just one. Like I said, this is mandatory, okay? So when you get into the rest of the video, you'll see the rest of the items that I'm talking about because I like to go out and have a lot of fun and be totally prepared. My other one, the helmet. I got a GoPro mount on it. Yes, I have a GoPro. Can't get to the footage right now. Computer crashed. I have it backed up, but I'll get it to you guys as soon as I possibly can. This particular helmet has a venting system in it so that I can vent out or shut the vents in case I want to retain heat. And then on top of that, I have a chips. And I have the chips system in case I have to have walkie-talkie, cell phone, or whatever type of system. I want music, anything like that, okay? I have that integrated into the helmet. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Take care. If you ever go out by yourself in the backcountry, stay out of the avalanche aspects, okay? I know it's a bummer, but stay in something that's really, really safe, okay? Really, really low aspect. Very, very low slide potentials. Otherwise, don't go alone. But I hope you enjoy the video, all right? You guys take care. Alright, so I had to take a pit stop, and I figured it'd be easier if I did this video out here instead of actually taking the stuff home with me, considering I'm not getting ready to use it, I'm just getting it ready. And yes, this is a split board. This is a Volet 182 split decision, 182 centimeters. As you can see, I'm about 6 foot. This thing's a canoe, alright? I'll get more into the bindings here in a second. I know you guys are looking at it like, what's going on? And I did this for a reason, because I have a couple of different mounts on it, stuff like that. But I'll get into the binding setups and all that in detail later on. I actually want to talk about the stuff that I recommend you have at a minimum, and then show you what I got when I want to go out into the backcountry and get a little nar-nar on where I want to go, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my canoe down and let her enjoy some snow for the first time in, I don't know, over a year. So anyway, the first thing you need if you're going to go backcountry or skiing or snowboarding inbounds and you're serious about it is you need a bag, okay? Now there is one item actually two items I don't have with me because they are back home in my bus, and that is the avalanche beacon and the helmet, and I'll show you those a little bit later on. I'll clip it into the end of the video just so you guys know. But you're gonna need a bag. This happens to be the 55 Titan from High Sierra. This is a really old bag, and for me it's bulletproof, but you gotta have something to put all your gear in, okay? And now we're gonna talk gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bag back right over here. And as we're talking about gear, I'll just fill it up for you. Let me zip that pouch, turn it around. So within my side pouches, there's something whenever I'm out split boarding. I got a couple things in here, and you got to make sure you don't lose them. One is your extra pins, just in case. You never know. Sometimes you can lose a pin on a split board. It depends on your setup. Mine's really old. Spark R&D, we'll get into that later. And then I've got my other fittings, and these are for my hiking poles. And I'll explain those in a second, as soon as I zip this shut. So one of the things that I take with me on the backcountry happens to be a black diamond snow saw. And as you can see, it has the same fitting on it, and these hook to your ski poles. It has a push button right here, so you push it so that it comes loose, and you are able to rotate the blade 90 degrees and lock it, or you can rotate the blade 180 degrees and lock it, and then you can hook it to a ski pole and you can cut in. This is for doing basically your column tests and stuff like that in the backcountry to decide whether your terrain is actually safe to go skiing on or not. So this, a mandatory tool if you're going to go in the backcountry. So we're going to take that and just stuff it in the bag. That way it's out of the way, and I know I have it. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about that is absolutely mandatory in the backcountry happens to be your avalanche shovel. Now, a lot of people, honestly, if you go four-wheeling or you live in the snow or anything like that, I recommend this even if you don't go skiing, because these are put to the test. They last. This particular one is a BCA, and I love this one more than anything. It shows you the two different ways you can set up the shovel in order to use it as an actual shovel or to rake snow with it. And trust me, I built a snow cave with my daughter once raking snow with this thing. It is awesome, okay? So make sure that's in your bag, because this is a must item as well. If you even plan on doing any type of avalanche terrain or anything that requires you to have any of this type of stuff, whether it be inbounds or out of bounds. But out of bounds, absolutely mandatory, okay? Make sure you have this. So let's throw that in the bag. That way I don't forget it, since I gotta pack this stuff up anyway, you know what I mean? So, the next mandatory item you need is your probe. Okay, this is absolutely mandatory. And my video clip at the end of this that shows my avalanche beacon, that is also a mandatory item. I'll cover it now, I'll probably say it again later. But this is the probe. And this one is the 300 centimeters, so this one has your death mark on it. And unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that, but if you're deeper than that white line, the chance of me recovering you alive is very, very low, unfortunately. Chances are you would probably go into a hypothermic state and pass out and die before I can recover you. That's just the way it works in avalanches. Make sure you have this one. The 6 and 7 footers are okay if you're inbounds and you're relying on ski patrol. But if you're relying on you or your best friend, you need the real one, okay? 300 centimeter. They probably make them even longer. I don't know, it's been a while. I haven't gone checked on the market on this stuff, but you want to have it. Stuff this one in the bag. Now, signaling smoke. I don't know if you guys can get a hold of this, but signaling smoke helps, all right? You take the bottom, you pull it out, you twist it, you smash it like that, boom, 60 seconds of smoke. This one happens to be orange. I keep this in the bag just in case. Not mandatory, but just in case. Get that one in there so it's nice and safe. All right. Here's another item that I consider mandatory, but most people don't, and that's your cornice cutter. When you get out in the backcountry, sometimes you'll come across the cornice that's the size of a school bus or a semi or whatever, and you want to see what the run under it's going to do, but you don't want to take the chance of breaking the cornice loose or breaking the run loose as you ski it, so you want to cut the cornice. There it is. That little guy right there with these little serrated springs right there will cut right through the snow, and it'll drop that cornice off. Make sure you're in a safe zone or belayed to a tree, and we'll talk about belaying here in a second. But make sure that you are absolutely safe when you cut that cornice. It is guaranteed to tell you whether your field that you want to ski is going to slide or not. But this is experience stuff. This is not for the amateurs. The other thing that I think you need to have inbounds and out of bounds, honestly, is your tune kit, okay? Now, it has all of your stuff on the inside, as you can see. It's got all of your tuning equipment and everything you need, your waxes, your edges, so that if you have anything that goes wrong, you can even put a torch in here with some P-Tex and rebond your base if you have to when you're in the woods, just to be able to get out and put your skins on and stuff like that. So I recommend you have one of these too. Not mandatory, just a recommendation. Now, I said it, so let's talk about it. The tractor skins. And this is why you should have a tune kit in your backcountry setup. Because these little guys right here are one-way directional. They lay down and they slip, and then when you go back, they stand up. And they stand up in the snow so that you can walk on the snow. Okay? I think it was Asia or something like that. They used to use horsehair on the bottom of skis to do the same thing to make them cross-country ability. That's basically what these do. They do the same thing as that. Lay down for cross-country glide, stand up for the grip. These are sticky on one side, so they have to stick to the base of the split board, so you have to make sure that your base is in good shape. Otherwise, you can really do some damage, or just not have any grip at all. You know, I've seen skins that have been torn because they've tried to have traction and it's slashed all the way down it, and it's just, it's a huge headache. So these, backcountry, absolutely mandatory on a split board. Inbounds, be careful with your split boards, okay? Inbounds is a lot different. They're harder on the boards than people think. So this goes in the bag, and this actually goes on the outside pocket so that I can access them very, very easily. Right here, this particular bag just happened to have that pouch that was built perfectly for it for some reason. So that's where I put the skins. Now, let's talk belay, all right? Rock climbing, stuff like that, yes, in the mountaineering, snowboarding world, we do belays and stuff like that every once in a while, so you gotta have your harness, okay? And that's what I mean. Have your harness, have your rope. Ropes don't last forever, so I don't have one to show you, but make sure you have your rope. Tie yourself off before you go to cut a cornice, okay? That, to me, is one of the safest things you can possibly do. Tying off to your buddy doesn't always help. A tree on solid ground on the top of the ridge is better for you than your buddy holding you, okay? That's a guarantee. Make sure it's a good solid tree. So I stuffed this right down on the bottom in here. That way it provides all the bulk I need. It can go ahead and get dropped on. It's not going to hurt it at all. So, and I still have my chalk bag on there too. I know it's not something that's always recommended, but honestly, I'd rather waste the money on the chalk, redoing the chalk in the bag, because I have found myself out in the middle of nowhere where I'm so hot that I'm sweating and I can't get a grip on anything in that chalk bag, regardless of whether it's snow or not, because every once in a while, you gotta go barehanded. All right, so we covered all that stuff. Let's get into the next one. Boom, the ice axe. Yeah, these are Charlotte Mosers, the real deals. They're old, but man, they've proven the test of time. This one happened to have the chisel wedge on it. You've got your axe spikes so you can go ahead and lock in. You've got your counter tip locked down there. I'll even show this to you because I know a lot of people don't really see these that much. There's the bottom right there, okay? And I put these guards on it so they don't get damaged. And then there's the tip. You can see how sharp that tip is, hopefully. And then the wedge is, honestly, you can see it through the plastic. It's kind of like, you know, like a little garden tool. And yes, you're not supposed to have one. If you're climbing, you have two. And this one happens to have the hammer on the back of it. Now, the best thing about these, if you notice there's these lanyards on them. These lanyards go over your wrists right through here so that you have wrist support along with the handle, so that if you have to, you can lock them into the ice and you can relax your hand and still be locked into your axe, okay? That's one of the best things. Backcountry, this is pro equipment. Okay, this is absolute pro equipment. Not mandatory, just something I personally like, all right? I like to get a little gnarly every once in a while. So these right here, they actually go on the outside of the bag. So for now, I'm gonna put them here because I actually have another pair of hiking poles in here that don't belong in this bag. And I'll take them out a little bit later when they're actually getting ready to be used by the person they're intended for, which happens to be my wife, aka camera gal. So, now that we got all that stuff taken care of, we got our axes set up. When you are ice climbing and only ice climbing, these right here, your ice anchors, these are awesome. As you can see, they're hollow and they have a little flip tab right here. You pull this off your rig, you pop it, boom, 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 boom. Drop your lock up, take your carabiner and lock it back through, and you got your breakaway wedge lanyard on it too. All right, these are ice anchors. That way, just in case you go climbing somewhere gnarly, climbing up a mountain. We have one out here where you have to ice climb up one side to get to the top plate to be able to ski down to the other valley. So yeah, stuff to have. Not mandatory, just stuff to have. And I figured, why not? Winter, summer, it doesn't matter. A buddy. A buddy is fail-safe, okay? No matter what. A rock is not gonna break. Easily, all right? They do break, but not easily. Ice breaks a lot easier. Cams get stuck and freeze. A buddy is solid, all right? And if you gotta sacrifice a buddy to get to the top, sometimes it happens, but make sure it's this buddy and not your buddy going with you, all right? Which reminds me, try not to go alone. I know it's hard. Every time I go, I end up going alone, but I do it safe, and I'll explain that in other videos. So these go into the bag. Yes, we're in Montana, bear spray. Wintertime, hibernation. Take your bear spray. I've seen bear paws when I'm gone up there in the middle of the winter. I've seen them in the early spring before people think bears wake up. Take your bear spray with you. Don't keep it in your car while it's hot, it'll explode. Okay, now we're gonna cover two more items. These happen to be crampons for the split board, okay? These are when you split that thing in half, and I'll show you that when I wrap up this portion of the video. But you put these on, and they lift, and then they lock, okay? When we get more into going into detail about taking the split board out, I'll explain more of this stuff in detail. I'm just trying to get the items that I have, that I take with me in the backcountry when I go split boarding. Depending on where I'm going, I might remove some items like the ice axes and stuff like that, depending on where I'm going. Sometimes I won't take all the crampons and everything, but these are split board specific crampons. They still go in the bag though. Okay. Another thing you want to make sure you have, and these are the good ones, is you always want to make sure you have more carabiners, okay? And for climbing, you want the carabiners that twist with tension, open, and then when they close, they automatically lock shut with tension, okay? These ones are the ones that are climbing rated, all right? The good ones. You throw these in the bag because you never know. All right. Now, the best thing in the world you can do when you're hiking is get yourself a ski pole, okay? This one right here happens to be the Black Diamond. And what I like about this one, it's the Flick Lock Trail Pro. So it's got the aluminum tabs on it that you just flip open, it extends, you put them back, boom, you pop it out, boom, pop it out a little bit farther, there you go, boom. You've got your wrist strap right here. The way I like to do it is I like to put my hand through like that and go down like this, so that when I'm walking, I have wrist tension more than squeezing my hand, because your hands get tired after a while. Hiking with poles is definitely the best way to go, okay? People think I'm out there because I have a split board with a backpack that has these poles in it, and then I have another bag that I use that has half of this stuff when I go inbound skiing at ski resorts that also has hiking poles on it. And people are like, why do you have hiking poles on a snowboard? It's like, dude, because I hike. That's why. So make sure you have good quality hiking poles. These are the lightest weight ones that Black Diamond made at the time, so I bought them. They weren't cheap. But they go in the bag, always. These are bag specific. These don't go anywhere else except for the backcountry bag. They're only used for backcountry, and that's it. Honestly, that's when it matters. Because if anybody goes backcountry skiing or backcountry hiking or anything like that, the first thing they're going to tell you, it's extremely important, is your weight. Travel light. This to me is light. To a lot of other people, probably my wife, this is like, oh my goodness, honey, what are you doing to me? To me, it's lightweight. All right, now this depends on the day. If you checked out my video of hiking the ridge up to Big Sky on the A to Z shoots, this is what I forgot. I made this case because I had to. But these right here, backcountry, inbounds, whatever, if you're hiking, if you don't have hiking poles, you're gonna want a set of these for sure. These are crampons. These bad boys right here are what you use to climb ice. These are what you use to climb mountains. Guys that go to Everest use stuff like this, okay? This is the kind of stuff I have because this is the kind of stuff that I like to do. So, this right here to me, if I go to any ski resort that has hiking ability, if I go anywhere backcountry, I'm taking these, guaranteed. Because I guarantee you, you're gonna feel a lot better on any mountain in the snow if you can lock in like a cat. The cool thing is, these fit my ski boots, they fit my snowboard boots, they even fit my snow boots. My normal snow boots, which is totally awesome. So these to me are mandatory, to a lot they aren't, all right? So, throw these in the bag, right there. Just pop them up on the top for now. Just like that. We'll latch this over. Bring this around so you guys can see. Now I'm just stuffing this stuff in here just to get it all stuffed in here to show you guys what's going on. I won't even strap that one right now. But there it is. There's the bag. And honestly, for me, it's not that heavy. And it can be consolidated more. I just stuffed everything in it really, really fast. But you see where it's at, okay? And then all I gotta do is have my split board ready to go. And I'm ready to hit the mountain. It's that simple, all right? So, with the bindings, I'll get into that in other videos. I'll add the clip of the two items I don't have in here that are absolute. One of them's mandatory and the other one half mandatory, all right? But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys later. You take care.
No way! No way! Man, he said canoe? Ha ha ha! That's like a surfboard with axes! Yeah! I want to do that for sure! Oh man, I want to go find one. Oh, wait a minute. Dude, did you see the rest of his gear? It's not even close to surfing, man. Well, maybe. I don't know, it could be. He's crazy enough to try.